Must. Meanwhile, Florida Congressman Greg Steube joins us from Sarasota, where his district is under a storm surge warning nearly a year after being pummeled by Hurricane Ian. Congressman, what could you tell me as you looked around working your way to the studio?
Yeah, we lost power about 2 a.m. here, at least where I live in Sarasota, and it's been windy, but nothing like what we experienced in Ian. Obviously, what we experienced in Ian, the people in the Big Bend area of Florida are going to be experiencing. And one of the blessings of this storm, I will say, and thanks to your weather team and forecast team, for almost a week, you know, as early as this past weekend, the direction of the storm where they had predicted it was going turned out to be accurate. The challenges that we had with Hurricane Ian last year was the track kept moving, and a lot of people weren't prepared when it hit. So kudos to all the weather teams and the forecasters, because they have had plenty of time up there in that Big Bend area to prepare their homes and their families, to evacuate, to do the things they need to do to prepare for a Category 4 storm like this.
Yeah, we do remember that. I had a friend in Tampa, Congressman, and she went down to your area to evacuate because she thought Tampa was getting hit. We all thought it was. And then at the last minute, you know, it's weather, it's unpredictable, it turned, and then it hit your area. And y'all are probably still cleaning up from that storm.
Yeah, that's the challenge here, and not a lot of people obviously talking about it. It's been almost a year. I'd say 30% of my district still has tarps on their roof. They're still working through this. So thankfully, this Category 4 didn't hit here again, where we're still trying to recover from the this can last a significant amount of time to get your roof repaired and all these type of things. And you're going to see that south of, like, the Cedar Key area is going to experience what the North Lee County, the Fort Myers Beach area experience, because south of the I, with the way that the direction the storm is spinning, is where all that surge comes in. And that's those pictures you saw from Fort Myers Beach and North Fort Myers Beach. I had the opportunity to go down there via helicopter a couple weeks ago, and there's still entire houses off the paths, people living on RV trailers. Yeah. So we still have a long way to go before people will be back to normal down here.
People haven't even moved back to Sanibel Island, have they? Some people are still living elsewhere inland until their houses are finished. Yeah,
because they've been destroyed or flooded. Even if the house wasn't destroyed, the house was flooded, so everything's having to be repaired.
Sure, and this video, actually a live image from Tampa, it shows part of the bay right there on I-275. We just saw an emergency vehicle, but I know you can't see it, Congressman, but there is some normal traffic. You know, the one thing, you're absolutely right. The thing about a hurricane is you can see it coming for days, and people can plan to get out, and they do if they're smart. But you know, a lot of people, they figure it's gonna wobble like the last year, and I'm gonna just ride it out. And unfortunately, it's too late if they are stuck in their house, especially if there's going to be a 16-foot storm surge.
Yeah, we were on vacation and we came home early because I wanted to be in my district, because I had assumed that this would be tracked like Ian or Irma. I don't know what it is with storms with a name first letter I, but Ian and Irma were tracked to be in that panhandle area, and they just kept moving. And like you said, was going to hit Tampa and then just kept coming south, and it was going to hit Sarasota and then ended up going right through Charlotte Harbor. So anybody in Florida, when it's coming near your direction, needs to be prepared to do the things they need to do to protect their families and their homes.
Did a lot of people evacuate from the Tampa area and head down to your district?
We evacuated, Sarasota County evacuated Zone 1, I believe. So the coastline, the barrier islands were evacuated yesterday. So they didn't, the best thing to do is to go inland, because then you're going to get away from the storm surge. The winds aren't going to be as bad, but then you're just having to deal with the flooding type issues. But the best thing to do is to go inland and not be on the coastline.
Yeah, I think about all those trees in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and that's
so
one
many
of the
gorgeous oak trees.
And Congressman, that's one of the things the governor said yesterday. He said, you know, you're not going to have to evacuate hundreds of miles. You know, you don't have to drive to Atlanta. Just ultimately go inland until you're up 20, 30 feet, and you'll be okay. Elevation.
Yeah, you could see down just in Fort Myers, when I was down there recently, the houses that were right there on the coastline were ripped off their foundation, and then just past the intercoastal on the other side of that, obviously they were flooded, but they weren't taken off the foundation of their homes. So just that little bit of distance to get away from that storm surge can mean a huge amount, especially for people's safety.
Yeah, Congressman, I'll tell you, we have so much to talk to you about non-weather related, but that'll have to wait till another day because of everything moving in the Hunter Biden story. But this is the biggest story because it affects so many lives directly. Thanks so much, Congressman. Keep us up to date.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Brian, you have a